Tar Heels offensively, it starts with those two guys up front, number 9 Vishen and number 10 Luke Hill. They've got a collective 8 goals on the season. They're firing all cylinders right now.
And the starting lineup for John Kerr Jr.'s Duke Blue Devils.
These Blue Devils, they'll be in their 4-3-3, which will look like a 4-4-1-1 at times. Adam Luckhorse is sliding in for their top scorer up front, Mr. Bjornsson. He's on a heater, 3 goals on the season. Colton Pleasance, transfer from UNCW, right behind them. Really intrigued to see how those guys combine tonight.
Both goalkeepers outstanding. A big pickup for Duke and Spio at 6'7".
Huge pickup, 26 career shutouts. He had his first shutout in the Blue Devil uniform. Last game against UVA, he creates the spine. It goes right through the defense. He gives them confidence.
Cortez pretty good as well for North Carolina.
Cortez is excellent, man. He was top 3 in the country last year in goals allowed as well as save percentage. We see his lifetime save percentage of .746.
Both goalies in their number 1 jerseys. Spiel on the right for Duke, Cortez on the left for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Duke won the national championship in 1986 with John Kerr Jr. winning the Mac Hermann Trophy. North Carolina has won 2001, and then 10 years later in Carlos Samuano's first year as a head coach in 2011. Those are the 2 natties for the Tar Heels. Both teams, quite a few ACC titles, as you see the numbers on Carlos Samuano, 6th best winning percentage.
Dean, we talk about the magnitude of this game and already see a few nerves. That first ball for the Blue Devils goes skying out of bounds.
Played in the middle here to North Carolina, Sam Williams. Played back, sent long there by Riley Thomas. Feels like he's been around forever for North Carolina. There's the big man, Spiel.
As we can see right off the bat, Spiel is very good with his feet. He starts the distribution out of the back. It'll be a big theme of the night. And we see right away these Blue Devils are going to play a high line of confrontation. They are going to press just as they did UVA. We expect the same fabric in terms of approach tonight.
Duke fans, if you're looking for the man they call Wolfie, Ulfur Bjornsson, he did warm up. He does have his jersey on. He did get banged up, and so we're not sure he is. John Kerr Jr. telling me late morning that he may be ready to get in there.
It looked like he was pleading his case to the trainer before the game, so he's definitely doing his part to get in there.
I don't mean to oversimplify it, but when you're playing your biggest rival, it is good medicine.
You only get so many of these opportunities.
Tar Heels, quick touch there from Sam Williams, and it's going to come all the way back to Spiel from the Netherlands. Is that Hofstra. John Kerr Jr. won that national title. Graduated in '87. Michael Brady, those two. What a great pair they are. Often the silver foxes, I call them.
They are nearly inseparable. It's hard to refer to one without the other, and they are pretty smooth gentlemen.
Sent long, as great to see Acito back in there. He's only started 3 games. This is his 4th start, as he's been bothered by injuries, but he's a big-time talent.
As of a few days ago, as you know, we didn't know if he was going to go. I saw him before the game warming up, and I asked him, Cam, are you going tonight? And he gave me a stone-cold look and said, I'm starting tonight. He was ready to go.
The alumni, near 50, that Cedric Burke mentioned, are going to be recognized at halftime. Second half, we'll show you some video of that special honor that will include my main man, Cedric Burke, running down there to wave to his fans. Corner kick coming. Loose in front. Back across. Cleared off the line by the Tar Heels. And it'll be a throw in for Duke.
Well, Coach Kerr had 3 main themes for this game. 1, to press hard, to press from the beginning. 2, quality possession in the opponent's half. And 3, the execution in the box. We see our first example right there of one of those box opportunities. Those will be incredibly vital tonight to execute and make sure those are, turned to goal scoring opportunities.
Take a look at this last corner here, Cedric Burke.
We see it come across. We see the scuffle in the box. Luke Thomas gets that rebound. Wishes he could have that one back. Place it a little more definitively in that corner.
Koskinen would have been rocking. The alumni are right there behind the Duke goal to start the first half, and I don't think they're drinking frappuccinos up there, if you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Left side, here come the Duke Blue Devils. Duke and North Carolina, in kind of a weird way, go together like peanut butter and jelly. You know, they just flow right off your mouth right there. And again, it doesn't matter what the sport, right?
100%. You can throw out the record books, as you love to say, Dean, when these two get together.
Tar Heels play it up top. Fouled by Duke. Could be a free kick, and the clock will be stopped. Get you caught up on the officiating crew. It's Dimitar Shabdarov, the man who just made this whistle right here. Wasn't much there from Jurgensen.
Wasn't much there. I had to take a second look to make sure there weren't any banana peels on the field.
It was just kind of a little slip like that one. Not a lot of contact, but...
Hey, but that's what you're supposed to do as an attacking player in that part of the field. You feel contact, you go down.
It'll be a corner kick coming for the Tar Heels.
Tar Heels corner kick taken by number 10, Juan Cafaro.
Cafaro. Pretty good ball right at the top of the 6. Kind of where you want it. Spiel stayed on his line, and Spiel says, I got this one.
That was perfectly placed ball, but to your point, seemed to be a bit of a disconnect. Was not a target run going in that position, but great ball. It's exactly where you want it.
A bit of a turnover. North Carolina going to try to pounce here. Good work by the Tar Heels. A Kwok, a player that played for Tobacco Road FC, Cedric Burke, the man in charge of that fine franchise.
So great defensive effort by the Blue Devils on that. I bragged about Spiel's ability to play out of the back. He put Kenny Hott in a precarious position there, but we saw Colton Pleasance as well as Aceto rush back to help their boy out.
There's a Kwok, played for the NC Fusion, but as I mentioned, did get some time with Cedric Burke, who I think double-digit players, right, has represented your club, Tobacco Road FC, that are part of these two rosters, right? 11, you said?
We've got 10 between both squads
10,
out here
okay.
tonight on the roster.
That's awesome. Spiel. Good couple touches by North Carolina. Played forward. Vichian, who has been off to a great start. Whistle called against Acosta.
That was beautiful play through that midfield, Dean, just like they drew it up on the tablet. You know, both of these teams will essentially have 3 in the middle. They both are going to play the same way. Defensively, they want 2 of those midfielders dropping, and offensively, they want them high. So you'll see a pivot 8 in the middle for both of these teams trying to expand the offense.
Acosta, who had a good run with Jim McElderry and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights out of the Big Ten, now starting in the midfield for the Tar Heels. Big pickup via the portal. Acosta, number 5. Really simplifies the game. There he is, number 5.
Really been coming into his own recently, developing more chemistry with his fellow midfielders. Couple of goals last few games.
Rutgers actually just a few years removed from winning the Big Ten championship over Indiana in Piscataway, their first ever, and Acosta was a key part of that. Duke has it, hot. Back to Masalis, who John Kerr Jr. single-handedly picked out as an instrumental part of this team.
Salas is such a dynamic player. As we know, he was drafted MLS last year. John Kerr, very fortunate to have him back. He leads the press. He gets involved in the attack coming from that left back position and plays a beautiful looping ball into boxes.
Salas scoring his 8th goal of his career this year, already with 1 goal. Back to Trevor Burns.
So really starting to see the character of this game unfold. You know, settle down. Both teams more possession oriented early on. Both teams are lumping it up a little bit. Settle down, more play through the midfield. Both teams are trying to pivot, get expansive, find their wingers.
It's kind of been a rainy, sort of wet day, but driving over here, I heard it was going to clear up, so didn't have to worry about being amphibious. It'll be a throw-in for the Tar Heels. What a wonderful crowd here, too, to enjoy this fall-like weather. But we don't believe any more threat of rain. I mean, there's still clouds out, but I think we're clear now.
This is the most packed I've seen the stadium in some time. You know, it's good that the local fans appreciate the significance of this game. 2 very quality opponents on the field tonight.
Yeah, Cedric, I was not missing this one. I was actually sick yesterday, but got rid of the wheelchair and was ready to roll. Duke.
I don't think you would have missed this one, even if they had to wheel you up here, my friend.
No way. It's not as tough a roll after the 3 days I've been through, by the way. It's a little lighter roll. Duke in the dark blue, Tar Heels with the white top, Carolina blue shorts. No score, but both teams have been in each other's offensive third a couple occasions. There's Burns, drops it quickly, Duke with a chance, and the Duke Blue Devils with a 1-0 lead.
Dean, I love Nichols, but that was a dime, my man. Look at that assist, and what a great finish. Dean, that is what we call execution in the box. Great build-up, great movement off the ball, great third-man running theme. Beautiful assist, beautiful finish.
Adam Luckhurst, whose dad was a big-time NFL kicker.
He was the guy we said we were going to look at. He's got big shoes to fill. He timed that run perfectly. He's onside, held his defender off, open body position, slotted it perfectly. Great goal.
Now 4 goals in 4 starts. That's pretty efficient for number 26, Adam Luckhurst, who scored 14 goals and 6 assists with the Gamecocks. His dad, a former NFL kicker, remember him particularly with the Atlanta Falcons, but I think he may have had some other stops as well. It's another nice pickup. So you've got the goalkeeper from Hofstra in Spiel, and then up top, Adam Luckhurst coming over from South Carolina. I will say that he had 3 quick goals against the D3 school out of Danville, Virginia, Averett, and it looks like a yellow card has been issued. Let's see here.
Yellow card issued to Duke on number 3, Conrad Macedo.
Macedo with the yellow. Oh, just that extra.
Yes, just that extra touch. Hey, wouldn't be a Duke-Carolina match without a few yellow cards being tossed around. And we see what this 1-goal lead does. It allows these Blue Devils to step up, close space a little sooner, apply even more pressure, try to get this second goal right away. Dean, we just had a good friend of mine and teammate join us in the box up here, Mr. Ali Curtis. Decent player in his day.
He's one of the legends of the game. Great to have him up here and all the alumni in town.
1999 National Player of the Year, recent Hall of Fame inductee, and quality young man.
Another yellow card, as you just talked about. Wouldn't be a Duke North Carolina game without multiple yellow cards, as Cafaro will get a yellow to match the yellow that Aceto just got.
Yellow card issued.
Curtis, who has been the leader of a couple MLS teams, right? As we're looking at the first sub.
He has. He was GM up at New York Red Bulls, had a stint at Toronto, works in MLS office now, has been very instrumental in the growth of the game in our country.
So after the yellow card, Cafaro is going to come off, and Parker O'Farrell, player I know well, who actually played for John Bradford in full USL League One games for North Carolina FC just down the road.
I saw him quite a bit on the summer circuit. He had quite the summer. He is a player.
A 1-0 lead, as you said. Perfect dime, perfect pass, and Luckhurst with his 4th goal. As I mentioned, 3 of them did come against Averett. Nobody wins the battle in the air. It's knocked out of bounds as Aquak. This is not a game where you can even for a second look down at your tablet to try to check a note, because something exciting is going to happen. At least that's the sense I'm getting so far.
Absolutely. Cannot take your eyes off of this one. This will be a fast-paced match. And both of these teams are just really closing space quickly.
This kind of crowd on this special of a day, alumni weekend, big alumni game tomorrow as well as the festivities continue. You really can't ask for a better situation than what we've seen, and that is an early goal from Luckhurst with Duke on top. That's not to say that the goals are done, but to get that early goal and set the tone on this kind of special evening is huge.
Oh, it's huge. It just instills so much confidence throughout your entire team. We can see the response. You know, Duke, since that goal, has really dominated possession, is winning every second ball. After losing a press, they're repressing efficiently, and you can just tell the energy level is up. A big focus coming into this season was reactions. You know, how do we react both negatively and positively? What does the next 5 minutes after a goal look like? And we can see that on display right now.
Superfluous, and you're feeling it. It'll be a throw-in for Duke. Nice job by the Tar Heels to win it back. Ooh, what a nice, clean, siding tackle. If you're wondering about Aceto's health, that was quality. That's with a yellow card, and he had no doubt right there. Nice, clean tackle from number 3, Aceto. This is how it's done, Cedric.
Oh, he came and cleaned it up. That ball was bouncing around like a game of Mario Kart in there, man, but he came in, cleaned it up efficiently, did not hesitate at all. That's what Cam Aceto does.
We got a Mario Kart fan in the crowd that we're going to have to pick out. In fact, it might be the only fan in the crowd wearing a little bit of red. Left side. Great play there by Jurgensen. Jurgensen was expected to start at holding mid, but Witter a late scratch, so the versatile player number 8 for the Duke Blue Devils slides in that back line and looks like he belongs. Sophomore from Norway.
He is incredibly versatile. He's had time essentially at all 3 lines. He's mainly a midfielder, as you said. He filled in very well against UVA in the back. He's filled in up top for spells. He's a very dynamic player.
Pressure coming from the goal scorer, Adam Luckhurst.
And that's what you want. We talked about the defensive fabric of this team. That's what you want to see as a defender. You want to see your offensive players shutting down space like that, starting that press. It gives everyone confidence.
Trevor Burns and Colton Pleasance finding Adam Luckhurst in minute 12 to make it 1-0 Duke in meeting number 100 as Duke tries to win for the first time at home since 2014. I mean, you're right. That's a double take when you see that.
That is in 3 transfers right there. Hey, Mr. John Kerr Jr. was definitely not spazzing out on the recruiting trail in the offseason.
Big time. Big time. Tar Heels play it forward. Luke Hilly, another player who was huge for NCFC youth and saw some time for John Bradford in official USL League games. Played for George Kiefer, and Jeff Nagalia, who's back on the North Carolina staff. He was on the staff for that 2011 National Championship team.
National Assistant Coach of the Year that year. And Mr. Nagalia is quite the recruiter.
Ironically, the only loss Duke has had this season was against George Kiefer and that Grand Canyon team as George landed on his feet. Replacing the legendary Shellis Heineman. This one coming forward. Ooh, nice little play inside from Pleasance. I like him. Couple touches. This one will hit the referee. And a whistle called against North Carolina. Carlos Samuano looking on with his team trailing 1-0. And here is Spiel. What a presence. 6'7", 200-pounder who had such great numbers at Hofstra. Eyestone moving on to the pros. Wow. Look at that boot.
That's a weapon. When your keeper can put you into the box like that, that is a weapon.
That was with pace, and it still had elevation. That was beautiful.
Well driven. And he's a complete player. Can knock it with his feet. You know, a guy that size sometimes has difficulty getting down. He can cover both corners. Obviously, nothing's getting over him. Duke is dominating possession right now.
They really are.
Really largely, they're dominating energy as well. I mean, the ball always finds energy.
A little bit of jinx of the broadcaster right there as the Tar Heels had decent numbers for a second, but you're right. Duke with the energy comes back. That was Burns in the middle of it. Burns already credited with an assist. Burns' father, one of my favorite people, a member of the '92 U.S. Olympic team and the '94 U.S. World Cup team, Mike Burns. Longtime career in MLS, now with Sporting KC and Peter Vermees.
We see this build up again, Dean. Great job by Burns closing that space. That's a very dangerous position on the field to leave him unmarked. First set piece for these Tar Heels from this position on the field. You think probably a little too far out for a shot. I would expect something looping to the far post.
Sent in. Spiel. Man, that's just a bomb. That's from the 6-yard, like 2 steps into it.
Without overexerting himself. In form. Now with this press, the Blue Devils do have to make sure Luckhurst doesn't get disconnected. He's been a little bit of a lone wolf up there setting that press. They have to make sure they have numbers coming so Tar Heels don't have room to build.
Kabusu, freshman out of Chestnut Hill, Mass, part of the New England Revolution, where John Kerr Jr. spent some time. This one sent long, and it's going to go out of bounds for a throw-in. Perhaps North Carolina going to try to pin Duke in.
Kabusu's a guy that this coaching staff is very excited about. I've followed him closely for a couple of years, met him on a recruiting trip, and he was down here a couple of summers ago. And he's got big shoes to fill.
Luckhurst putting in a solid shift, working hard. But you want to win the approval of your coach as a center forward, track back and get into the defensive third and make something happen after scoring a goal. That's quality.
Well, he knows he's got big expectations. You know, we know some of the 9s this team has had the last few years. You talk about guys like Thor and guys like I'm forgetting one of my favorite guys, Forster Jago. Took me a minute to remember his name. How could I forget him?
That's your boy.
That is my guy.
He was fun to, he wasn't here long, but man, he was fun to call and fun to watch.
An incredible young man and human being. It was no doubt from the day I met him that he was going to be playing professionally right now.
You said that. I'll give you credit. You said that last year.
The new rule is the benches are supposed to be seated, right?
North Carolina starting to put a few passes together as Vichian drops it over. Jurgensen heads it out.
And right now the Tar Heels are one and done. You know, there's one opportunity, but they aren't winning the second balls, and that's really a tribute to the defensive energy of these Blue Devils.
But you nailed it. Not a shot or a shot on goal yet for North Carolina.
And what did Coach Jern Kerr tell us the other day? We're going to pick up right where we left off against UVA. Same theme, same intensity from the opening whistle.
John Kerr Jr. gets to spend one more year with his 2 boys. There's Cameron Kerr, a little bit banged up, so has not been out there, but he did decide to come back for one more year and get his MBA. Nice clean trap there by North Carolina's Tate Johnson, number 2. Dancing, all quack.
Tate Johnson's a freshman that arrived in the spring, and I talked to some of our boys over the summer and heard wonderful things about him. He has stepped into this starting left back role immediately.
Well, I'd like to look at that foul again, because let me tell you, it was on for Duke. I think it was Acosta who came in there. Yeah, that's a yellow to me, because one more pass and Duke is gone.
Yeah, I agree. And if we're you know, keep calling it even, I think that's pretty on par with the yellow that was given.
Spiel. Nice job defensively by Riley Thomas, grad student for the Tar Heels, who was homeschooled.
And he's really the barometer for this team. This team, he's a 2-year captain in a preseason All-AC selection. This team really follows his lead. We can see him barking out orders and keeping this team organized.
But denied there by Jurgensen. What a play.
I'll tell you what, that was a phenomenal pass. And Jurgensen made an even more impressive defensive play.
Alcido. Hot. will drop it to Kabusu.
We see that slotted ball through by Kak. And it's just great defense right there.
Well done by Jurgensen to stay with it, track back, and be ready.
Let go.
Just one little touch, and North Carolina is in, and Spiel's going to have to make a big save with that 6'7" frame.
And honestly, very similar play to how Duke scored. You know, we know the game is won in those margins, and it's very thin.
Kerr. Has a similar gait to his dad. We'll center it back. Tar Heels shot from distance, so that may count, as you see right there, number 5, Matty Acosta. Hot, quickly switching it. Burns off to a great start. Burns and Pleasance with that great combo to free up Luckhurst. There's Pleasance. He was looking for Luckhurst again.
And we see, Dean, look at the space opening up in the midfield. And that's really due to the Blue Devils getting more expansive. Field is spread. They're all condensed within a 60-yard box. There's a lot of space in the midfield. You've got flashing midfielders tucking in to find it.
What a ball from Trevor Burns right there. Has he done anything wrong in this game?
He's clinical. He is smooth as they come on the ball.
His dad was, I mean, he was Boston tough, but he was one of the most unassuming, as this one is called back. They'll call it a foul.
Rightfully so. My man Colton Pleasance was all over his back, but man, look at this effort. And they're just coming in bunches. Could not be a better start for these Blue Devils.
9 fouls in the game, a couple yellows. Aceto for Duke. Faro for North Carolina, the 2 yellows. Most importantly, the goal for Luckhurst. That's why it's 1-0 Duke. The 100th meeting between these 2 colleges. One bounce. Spiel. Yeah, he very much is like Ice Stone. I mean, usually when you're that tall, there's something missing, like your feet, or you can't get down, or I mean, he's got everything.
Yeah, he's a complete player, and he doesn't lack for confidence. You know, he'll put that, as we just saw, he'll put it down and he'll distribute.
Tar Heels. Vichian still up top. Hasn't seen a ton of the ball as the home team, the Duke Blue Devils. What a crowd here. I mean, to look across and see nary a seat open, and then right in front of us, opposite your ACC network extra cameras, I mean, there's a lot of people, a lot of people.
This is like the good old days, Dean. I can't understate how impressed I am with this crowd. I mean, this stadium is packed.
Duke looking for a second. You already complimented Thomas. He had another nice stop right there, right at the top of the 18. Pleasance, though, has got a good engine as he wins it back. It was Masalis who was trying to get involved.
Kenny Hott winning it back. 3 players consistently around the ball. And you mentioned Colton Pleasance, another NCFC product. Man, he's buzzing around, and he is really making the upper half of this midfield work right now.
Yep.
Great job of connecting with Luckhurst.
Transferred from UNCW. 4 goals and 1 assist at 4 years at UNCW. 2 goals and 2 assists already for Duke.
He's had some injury the last couple of seasons, so it's good to see him finally healthy and showing the player he truly is.
Hott was trying to find Luckhurst.
Look at Kenny Hott. He's playing as a 9 right now, just continuing that run.
Aceto, Burns. Burns. What a ball into space from Burns as he finds Kerr. Drew Kerr with his left foot. Good idea. Looking to get it back to Hot. Vician, who spent time at Harvard by way of Slovakia. So we got some subs getting ready to come in. We'll start with the Tar Heels as number 17, Daniel Lugo, sophomore from St. Pete, Florida, and number 38, Lucas Ross, a junior from New Jersey. As coming out of the game is Vician and Luke Hilly.
Number 38, Lucas Ross.
3 players getting ready to, maybe 4, getting ready to come in for Duke. And one of them is Wolfie, as Bjornsson gonna get in there and get a little run here with just over 14 minutes remaining in the first half. That's a good sign.
Not bad when you can bring in a guy who's top 3 in the country in goal scoring right now off the bench.
Burns, you know, I don't care that the offside flag is up. Burns' mentality, that pass right there, to me, was special. Huh?
Yeah, the vision. The vision and the quickness of play without hesitation. You combine that with off-ball movement, good things happen.
There he is, having a big-time game. I mentioned his dad, Mike Burns. If you Google him, an amazing career, but, I mean, you talk about just brought the lunch pail, didn't ask for any attention ever, Cedric Burke, just delivered the goods every time out.
Well, you can see that work ethic has been instilled in the family.
Spent some time with Georgetown. There's the goal scorer in this one, Mr. Luckhurst. Good move inside by the Tar Heels. Acosta trying to put the right weight on it. Cito had the first touch. Good effort coming from Ross, who just came into the game moments ago.
That was a beautiful turn by Acosta, creating space for himself in the midfield.
There's Burns trying to get it done defensively. Well timed turn by the Tar Heels. They'll drop it in. I think actually Ross was thinking about a bike.
He was setting it up.
Just like that. Bjornsson with the little touch. He'll drop back. Bjornsson is in. Back across. Oh! Just a little bit behind. And Koskinen was getting ready to shake.
And the top of this stadium was about to come off, Dean. What a great build-up. What a quick transition. I mean, 2 passes. Duke was into the attack with numbers. Great ball across the box, just a little mistimed. And again, another example. We've had 3 opportunities in the box now. Got to execute on those. That's a big theme of this game.
It was Suber who was waiting for it. It was not his fault. The ball was behind him. But really good work from Duke. Looked like a handball right in front of the referee.
So we look, I think the most important thing of that build is Wolfie looks healthy. You know, he's moving like the Wolfie of old, gets to the line, comes across the box. That's a beautiful ball, right where you want it, right across between the 6 and the 10.
Suber, a freshman from Kirkland, Washington, as Duke and North Carolina, they do not discriminate. They recruit from all over the world, all over the country.
And with additional pedigree and experience, Suber will hold that run. He'll hold that run, let the play develop. It was clear it was coming back. That's where the opportunity was. He'll learn from that.
There's going to be a card far side. There's
It's very much a professional tackle from Riley Thomas, because if he breaks that line, bad things will happen.
Yellow card issued against UNC on number 15, Riley Thomas.
Our Bibb, a freshman from London, England, was the Duke player that went down. What do you know about him?
Oh, he's got quite the pedigree, and he's a guy they're expecting big things from. He's performed well in preseason and some spot minutes so far.
6'4".
He can hold it up. You know, he can play with his back to goal. Can also play as a target and distribute.
Sent in. They're looking for Bjornsson. The rookie heads it and pulled out of the air by Cordes. It's interesting because Duke has been extremely dangerous, but we haven't said Cordes' name a ton as they were clinical on the finish.
Yeah, really hadn't on that build. He didn't stand much of a chance. I don't know if many keepers are saving that, but we know who UNC has between the box.
Redshirt junior, University of Portland transfer. He's from Denver, Colorado. Colorado has produced a ton of big-time players, especially on the women's side. But speaking of Colorado, second half, Mark Dodd, who was the goalkeeper of that '86 national championship team and big-time player for the Colorado Foxes before MLS started. And he went to the Dallas Burn, where he was a rock star.
He was, you know, behind that beautiful 1986 championship in goal.
I can't wait to see him. I, right out of college, spent a lot of time with him, as he was always in the player pool for the national team, primarily as a backup because you had Miola and Frito and Keller, but Dodd was right in there with those four and Marcus Hahnemann. I mean, think about those five names I just mentioned right there.
Yeah.
Five of the all-time greats, and I can throw Mark Dodd in there.
Yeah. He's one of those names that was involved in that growth of American soccer during that era. And we see the high line right now from the Blue Devils. They want to possess as much as possible in UNC's defensive half.
Whoa. Just put it down for me, thank you. You're good there, man, no further.
Fair play to both teams, as yes, we have had 3 yellows, but this game has really been flying along at a pretty good pace here. There's been some physicality, but how do I say it? I mean, it's been quality physical play. It hasn't been dirty.
I agree, and I think the refs are doing a great job of letting them play. You know, this should be a physical game, but at the same time keeping control, and it's been completely respectful, to your point. Nothing dirty at all.
Suber, who looks like he's got a bright future, along with Kabusu, which reminds me, you think about all that Duke lost and all the great players that they had out there, and I feel like Frederick was the first pick with all those superstars from Duke. Am I right about that? I mean, definitely was.
He was the second overall pick.
Yeah.
And I think everyone saw the talent. Everyone knew the ceiling he had, but he wasn't expected to go that high. But Wayne Frederick's quite the player. And we saw him emerge last year. You know, he got more confidence, and he was all over the pitch.
We had a front row seat for it.
We did. They had some exciting guys last year. I mean, there's a guy like Wayne Frederick, Amir Daly, my favorite for Forster Jago up top. Some big shoes to fill, as you said.
And Eyestone in goal. All of them, I think, will turn out to be quality pros, right?
Yeah. They've got the look.
You're just joining us here at Koskinen, a packed house here. 100th meeting between these two rivals, UNC and North Carolina. UNC does hold the advantage. Particularly, they've been tough here at Koskinen, where Duke has not beaten the Tar Heels since 2014. North Carolina searching for that equalizer. Great cut back in, good ball across. Trying to put it on a platter. Wonderful service from Aquak. And trying to find Lugo.
That was a great build, and we see the reaction from Wessel in goal. Look at this build up. Aquak did a good job winning that 1v1. Puts a great looping ball across. That's another opportunity to execute in the box. That should have been a goal in reality.
It was actually Ross. It was Lugo laying on the ground, but it was Ross who the ball was served to.
Quack's put in a good shift tonight. He's been doing very dynamic work on that left wing.
Clock stopped for a moment with 6:34 remaining in the first half. First major miss hit by the 6'7" giant Spiel. Great shot by our fantastic crew of this wonderful crowd that it's not done filling in. People are still filing in here. It's going to be SRO Cedric Burke, which is fantastic.
This is what you want. This is the respect and attention this game deserves.
Great little touch. Try to get it back to Wolfie. Stays with it. Bjornsson off the near post. Unlucky. I think Cordes may get credit for getting a little piece of it, and perhaps without that piece. And I'm not sure if he touched it or not, Cedric, but I think he did.
I think he did as well. And to your point, without that piece, I think that's Mr. Bjornsson's 7th goal of the season.
Kept alive in front, still loose. North Carolina trying to sit on it. They get it out of danger. They don't panic. Now the Tar Heels, plenty of time. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first half. Nobody home on the long ball as they drop it back to Spiel. It's 2 miss hit from Spiel.
You see this build up. Great ball out. Bjornsson did a great job of winning that ball back. Yeah. Looks like Cordes got a little bit of a touch on it. Just enough to deflect it off the pipe. Ooh.
Kick save.
Yeah, that was a great save.
Bjornsson, to be fair, I don't even think the Tar Heels thought they were going to see him based on the injury. But he's out there.
He's out there and he's looking good.
Looking great.
Mark!
Try to play it down the left side. The Tar Heels do. Lugo had that opportunity. Top of the 18, shot from distance as getting over it was Sam Williams. Nice player, junior out of New Jersey.
Now we have seen in the last 5 minutes, more of this game has been played on this side of the field. These Tar Heels are gaining momentum. We can see it. They were one and done early in the game. Now we're getting second chance opportunities, more time to build, more possession, more patience in the box.
North Carolina started the season on the road with a 1-0 win at UAB. They tied Cal Baptist at home, then beat FIU 3-1. 6 goals against East Tennessee State, and then a 2-2 tie against Dr. Mazur's St. John's as we got a player down, stopping the clock at 4:03. As I mentioned earlier, at halftime the crowd will be treated to the alumni. Take a look at this last play here.
Just a little bit of a awkward tackle right there.
Phantom.
Yeah. He was in the air. I think that's one of those where look out for player safety first, but wasn't much contact.
Wow, that was not a yellow. Obviously, the referee, I mean, look, they were both in the air, but he wasn't touched.
I think it looked probably worse than it actually was upon first look. Now, second set piece opportunity, same place on the field. Last one went looping to the far post. I would expect the same based on the way they're lining up.
Sam Williams, pretty good ball. Top of the 6, loose, dangerous, and finished by the Tar Heels. A little spillage in North Carolina has made it 1-1.
Dean, it's been building. We talked about it last 5 minutes. They've spent a lot of time in that part of the field. You can bend and you can bend, but eventually you break if you allow that much possession up there. first thing that comes to mind is these Blue Devils have had 5, and that humility shown through. Style of play. But hey, I agree. When you heard that national anthem, you were ready to go, weren't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this place is really special. I mean, the nights we've trained out at this field, the games we've played, and I love to see what John's done with he's really taken it to another level too. So I mean, fun to see and great to be part of.
We're going to keep Mark Dodd with us for 5 minutes or so, as it's an honor to be reunited with him. I'm glad, Mark, you remembered. I saw you on the circuit covering ACC golf, as your daughter, who was a pro golfer, was huge at Wake Forest, right?
Yeah. She played at Wake Forest, had a great career there, and then played a couple years professionally, and then she was coaching up at arch nemesis UVA. So she's no longer doing that. She had her first baby. So yeah, we're all tied into ACC.
And you have another daughter as well, right? Where is she?
I do. She did her undergrad at Wake Forest, and she is now in her 3rd year of law school at UVA. So she will be an attorney in DC after that.
All right, second half underway. Mark, being down there on the field with almost 50 alumni, I mean, I know you probably don't know every one of them, but you're connected, right?
No, we are, and it's a small family, really. I mean, and guys, whether you've stayed in the game or not, Ali Curtis has been with MLS, and Robbie, he's been with the Real Salt Lake. I mean, so guys have stayed in the league professionally, but John and the rest of the group has done a great job of kind of, keeping the players together and making sure that we all stay together and know we're part of the Duke family.
Bring us down memory lane. The 1986 team, 18-5-1, knocking off the Zips 1-0 in the championship game. John Kerr would win the Herman Trophy. What do you remember about that special season?
We were a good team, but I don't think anybody would have, just screamed, hey, this is the team that's going to go all the way. And, but we had a lot of fight, a lot of spirit, and the guys just kept, really playing for each other.
Corner kick here for Duke, as Dean Linke, Cedric Burke, and Mark Dodd, who had several caps with the USA, a great career in Major League Soccer. I'll admit, one of my big regrets as the former assistant GM of the Colorado Rapids is not taking you, Mark Dodd. I mean, we totally blew that. You were ready to stay right there in Colorado, right?
I was. We were living in Colorado, and I actually had it in my contract that I had to be either with Colorado or Dallas, and it was up to, I guess, whoever was at Colorado, and I kind of wished I had stayed there. But, it's okay. It all works out great. We have family in Dallas, and I still get back to Colorado quite often.
It's truly not okay, as we could have had you, we could have had Fraser, we could have had Eck, we could have had all those guys just stay right there. Just totally blew it.
I'm trying to be tactful, Dean. You know how it is. Yeah, I think there's somebody had some regrets, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness. Like, you guys had it going on with the Foxes there for several years, right?
That was a solid team way back in kind of the pre-MLS era, but some serious players there. I mean, Robin Fraser you mentioned. We had Marcelo Balboa at one point. A lot of the players from Colorado ended up back in MLS with FC Dallas, or what is now FC Dallas, or the old Dallas Burns. So, yeah, there was a lot of talent back with that team.
Yeah, you went to Dallas with Dave Durr, and I remember Colorado and Dallas would meet the second year of MLS in the Western Conference Finals. That time we did get the better of you.
I have a bad memory of that. I think, last very late at the death there, Chris Henderson whipped in a ball, and that was one to remember or not to remember.
What do you remember about this special rivalry when you were at Duke, North Carolina? Any special moments for you?
Yeah, well, I have one that I'd like to regret. I think I was on the cover of a Sports Illustrated back in the day of somebody from Carolina scoring on me. So, it was fun to be on the cover, but it was not fun that it was a Carolina player. But no, I mean, this is always a great rivalry regardless of the sport, and everybody knows it, and it winds you up. It really gets you psyched up.
See Carlos Samuano there. Beautiful day for the beautiful game, and a great celebration for the Duke Blue Devils. Coincidentally, this is the 100th meeting between these two teams. Mark Dodd, that's a lot of quality soccer.
It really is, and you know, it just goes to show how strong the ACC is, and you look at the players as we watch this cross come in. As we look at the players that have come through the ACC, I mean, it's truly unbelievable if you just go down the list that have played and made such an impact in ACC, but then also in the pros. So yeah, this is a strong breeding ground.
There you see it, the voice of Mark Dodd, the Duke goalkeeper, 85 to 87. Are those years right? Did you leave early or something?
No, it was 80 to 85. Came in and transferred here. I came in, played 85, then 86 was our national championship. 87, graduated in 88. Yeah. So I took actually a leave of absence and went to France and over there to train and play a little bit, which was great experience. And came back, and yeah, national championship was. We were talking about this the other day. Had the chance to play golf with a couple of buddies, and we're coming up on 40 years from that, which is mind-blowing in and of itself. But the fact that it hasn't been repeated, it just goes to show the combination of how hard it is, but also how lucky and fortunate and the stars have to align. So I'm sure John will get one. He just keeps knocking on the door, and but until then, it's kind of nice to be the first.
Well, Mark, you talk about that first in establishing a standard. I remember as a kid coming to Duke soccer camp and seeing that 1986 visual all the time, and that being the standard of what Duke soccer was.
Yeah, no, I mean, we all knew it was a great program, and then to kind of finally give it, I guess, the recognition that it fully deserved, and bring that home. And you know what? It's kind of cool to be the first of any sport at Duke too. I mean, I'm going to be honest. The older you get, that's still pretty neat, just knowing that's the first of any sport.
Also on that team, coincidentally, Tom Stone, who I don't know if you know or not, but he's not a bad talker. He was my first ever broadcast partner, believe it or not, with the Colorado Rapids.
Were you actually able to get a word in? Because, yes, I know Tom very well, and we all know that he has never not found a microphone somewhere. No, Tommy's a great guy, great personality, and he was a huge part of this team as well. I mean, my gosh, I mean, just a massive player and a great presence for this club.
Big time coach, doing great work at Texas Tech, Tom Stone, and then Tommy Kane, did so much. I think Adidas, right? I mean,
sure. Yeah, he was a big exec with Adidas for a long time, and it's tough when you see guys like Pat Johnston is here, and Tommy Kane, who had such a stellar career at Duke, and you almost feel like those guys deserve a ring. You know what I mean? Because they just paved the way so much, and but yeah, no, Tommy's a great guy, and he was just a Duke legend as well.
I'm glad you already tipped your hat to John Kerr Jr. as we'll take a look here as Thomas has it for Duke with his left foot cleared out of there. What do you remember about him on the field, John Kerr Jr.? Foul here.
Yeah, John Kerr Jr. was always, I mean, he was kind of an old soul, I guess you could say. I mean, he seemed like he was a professional even when he was 19, and he just had such a grit and a fight and a bulldog mentality and a will to win. I mean, all the time, training, games, whatever it was, that's just is in his DNA. It was the way his father was, the way he is, and I think he brings a great thing to Duke.
What an honor to have Mark Dodd, the man who was in the goal when Duke won the national championship in 1986, as he said, as we often say, the first ever national championship in Duke history. Sum it up for us, Mark Dodd. You got the big alumni game tomorrow. Please tell me you're going to be out there playing.
I am going to really rethink that, because most of the time, my wife says to me, she's like, have you realized how long it's been since you've actually stepped in the goal? I probably will step back and let these young bucks do it, because I know what'll happen. Somebody's going to put a ball up in the upper corner. My brain will think I'm 25. I'll go flying for it. Things will get dislocated, and it won't be pretty. So I'll be cheering everybody on, but I'll be there.
Well, Mark, final comment. I just got to tell you, as I broke into U.S. soccer and having you around, you know, as a goalkeeper with the national team for quite some time, you always were so kind to me as a youngster, and then so kind to me as I saw you on the road later. I mean, you're a quality human being, and we're honored to have you here.
Thanks, Dean, and, you know, right back at you, because, you know, you're one of these guys that, you know, I've known for a long time, you know, with whether it's Colorado, whether it's a national team. You're a true professional, and I'll tell you what, I do some broadcasting for in MLS with FC Dallas, and what you do play-by-play is hard. Like, I could never do that. I mean, you're like an encyclopedia. I don't know how you guys do it. It's unbelievable, but you're a true pro, and thanks for having me up here, buddy.
You look fantastic.
Likewise.
I hope you do get in goal, because you look like you can still get it done.
Enjoyed it,
Good to have you, man.
Take care, man. Thank you.
Hey, we'll hang out a little bit later, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
We'll see
Have
you
a
on
pop
the
on
pavilion.
us, Mark Dodd. All right.
Nice to see you.
What a pleasure to spend time with Mark Dodd, one of my favorite people right there, and a national champion at the Duke Blue Devils.
Just as advertised, Dean. Great guy. Great commentary.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Sent in. Here's Burns.
All right, pretty back and forth to start this half, Dean. You know, a little bit of a role reversal. These Tar Heels have been the ones breaking out, really trying to break lines aggressively. Blue Devils have been more focused on possession.
Just to put a capper on the regret for not taking Mark Dodd with the Rapids, we had 3 different goalkeepers. We ended up with Chris Woods, who is former England goalkeeper, right? It looks like we're going to have a little rain here. I promised no rain, but the umbrellas are out. We had Khalil Osmi, we had Dusty Hudak, we had Chris Woods, who was basically on vacation. We were terrible. And then the next year we got Marcus Hahnemann, who's on that list and went from worst to almost first, making it to the MLS Cup. But the regret of not taking all of those players that we could have had. We could have had Fraser. We had the first pick in the draft. We took Gene Harbor, who I think was like 55 at the time.
Dean, I'm still laughing at that. Might as well have been on vacation analogy. I'm going to have to steal that one.
Next year they brought in the late great Mooch Meyernick, and he completely turned the team around. Big time coach, left us way too early. North Carolina and Duke, 10 minutes in. Special celebration here of the 1986 National Championship team and every ACC title team. And that includes my main man, Cedric Burke, who was the starting right back for the 1999 ACC championship team, the first for Duke. And, you know, the final comment, well, I shouldn't say final, because there's too much to talk about as it relates to all the great alumni are here, but really nice that Coach Rennie was out there in the middle of all you guys, Cedric.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Rennie represents you know, the start of this program. You know, when he really started emerging and succeeding on a national level, and you know, a lot of these guys owe a lot to him.
Throw in.
And as Mark Dodd mentioned, you know, definitely a shout out to Coach John Kerr, has done a great job of uniting the alumni community. You know, both the young alumni he's coached as well as the guys that carry over to Rennie's tenure.
Yeah, he truly has. He had a couple rough years in there, and you know, they stuck with it. And I'll tell you what, now Duke, nobody wants to face Duke anytime, anywhere. They do not want to play them. Duke is always tough, and they lose a ton of players to the pros, and they just reload.
Oh, it is almost in awe of you think of some of the names they've lost, you know, early, who haven't finished their Duke tenure, you know, which is part of the game now. The game has evolved. It's more transfer heavy. You have an opportunity for guys to go professionally a little bit earlier than maybe historically. So that is, to be an elite coach in this game and continue to succeed, you have to be able to replenish every year and have guys who are ready to step in and play.
1986. That's actually the year I graduated from high school. I can't believe he just said 40 years right around the corner. Ouch.
I was starting kindergarten, man. I remember it.
No! You're lying. You're not lying?
I'm not lying.
Oh, no. All right, Cedric, you were responsible for soaking in what we've seen here in the first almost 15 minutes of the second half.
Well, the pace has slowed significantly. You know, you can see it. There's a much more measured approach from both teams at this point. You know, the lines are opening up more where there's going to be more space to combine. You know, these teams are really going to be able to execute on their game plans. This has become more and more of a chess match as the minutes tick off.
All right, well said. As we'll get back to the action, we salute the Tar Heel fans that let us celebrate Duke here on a very special night with their 86 team. As Duke Burns drops it back in, looking for Luckhurst again.
Now, one adjustment I have seen from the Blue Devils, they are getting an extra man in the attack. We see Kabusu, who pretty much stayed pretty reserved as a right back in the first half. 3 times now he's joined the attack in an overlapping fashion on that right wing. We see he takes a man away, opens up space. That off the ball movement by Kabusu created that opportunity.
Blue Devils corner kick taken number 23, Kenyon Hawk.
Corner kick coming for Duke.
Look, you gotta stay, don't push. Stop coming up.
Still got a little bit of chills after the visit with Mark Dodd going down memory lane. Duke, a lot of pushing and shoving. Top of the 18 deflected. Salas, chance to knock it back in. Pretty good ball.
Let's go!
Costa sends it out of danger. Burns will run it down.
We talked about Masalas in the open and his abilities, calling it back for it right now. He can get in this attack, and he plays those beautiful balls. We might have one coming right now.
Left side to Luke Thomas.
And that's what they were trying to do. Masalas was just a little offsides, didn't reset that run soon enough.
5 shots for the Tar Heels, 4 for Masalas' team, the Duke Blue Devils. Shots on goal, 2 for Duke, 1 for North Carolina. 10 fouls for the Tar Heels, 8 for Duke. Duke has more corners, 3 for Duke and 1 for North Carolina. The scoreline, square, 1-1.
It's about as even as it gets, Dean.
Kerr pops it high in the air.
He went for the home run ball on that one.
Kabusu heading it. Good job here by the Tar Heels, and then the turn, and there's the pavilion where Mark Dodd is, I'm sure, back and enjoying it.
Having some water to hydrate over there.
I mean, what a great day for you, Cedric Burke, right? I mean, to put all this together, and I mean, I know, you know, John Kerr took the lead, but I know you had your hands all over this. This is a big day for you, my man.
It's a full circle moment, man. You know, being a Durham guy and seeing a lot of my teammates, and you know, a lot of pride in what we did, and it'll be a fun weekend.
Blue Devils. Hot. Over to Thomas. Back across. Tar Heels.
2v1 opportunity. That's a dangerous place. We see some of the youth at Kabusi losing that ball over there.
Cabusa did do enough, though, to get some more dark blue jerseys back behind him.
Did a great job getting back in position and slowing down to attack.
A little reckless, and it's open, but it does not fall to North Carolina. As Spiel came out just a tad reckless, took out his own teammate, I think.
I believe that was Luke Thomas over there. That was, there's a lot of contact in that box. Luke Thomas did a good job sticking his leg in the danger zone there. Not for that. That is probably a goal.
Jurgensen that he knocked over. There's Thomas. Senior from Charlotte.
Luke Thomas, what a great story. Former walk-on, named one of the 3 team captains this season.
Yeah, he is a great story because he's a guy that didn't always start, but he's a guy that John Kerr could not keep off the field. Offside flag is up as Luckhurst a little bit too far out front.
He earned it the right way, and he's had some big-time moments in the stadium.
So a few umbrellas still out. Thomas, hear him calling for a foul as Hilly went in a little bit reckless there. Luke Hilly.
Luke Thomas is a magnet for contact right now.
More rain, more umbrellas. Nobody leaving though.
Yeah,
that's
I was
a
going
good
to say
sign.
nobody's leaving. It's a little unfortunate for the fans, but as a player, these are perfect conditions. These are the moments you remember. You slide, you can slide for 10 yards. The ball moves perfectly across the grass.
Turn and shot coming from Vitchian, who is a big-time talent. 5 goals already for the transfer from Harvard. Good look there at Vitchian.
And really, the second half, we've seen the sense of urgency from these Tar Heels, especially from those 2 up front guys. They are pressing, they are closing space the same way the Blue Devils were doing early in the first half.
Talked about John Kerr and Michael Brady always being together. Kyle Johnston came over from North Carolina to join Duke. Tristan Werbonsky. Meanwhile, under Carlos Samuano, Grant Porter, who run a title as a player and as an assistant coach for North Carolina. When I say title, I mean national championship. Here's Thomas. Michael Harrington, his 6th season, and Jeff Nagalia back on the bench after several years at NC State. But as you already mentioned, Jeff Nagalia on the bench for that 2011 Natty.
It's a quality coaching staff. You know, guys I have some fond memories and good times with.
Down for Duke is Trevor Burns. Also down is Jurgensen.
And we talked about the physical nature of this game in the first half. It's gotten a little bit more chippy. Last 5 minutes, expect that to continue as time winds down on the clock and the urgency only heightens.
If you get scored on one more time, I lose 50. Come on!
It's Carlos Samuano. Clock stopped at 25:37. 12th minute, Adam Luckhurst, assisted by Trevor Burns and Colton Pleasance. And a lot more of the ball after that, but they did not get the second one. You cannot do that against a Carlos Samuano coach team, as Lucas Ross off the bench, Sam Williams with the perfect service as Luckhurst with the first goal of the game in minute 12.
You see this great build again, Dean. Colton Pleasance, good job receiving and turning, opening his body. Luckhurst continuing his run, staying on side, slotting it. Perfect body position, found the right corner. It's about as clinical as a goal as you can get.
Tar Heels hung around though and made it level.
Just persistent pressure, persistent pressure. Blue Devils did not clear this second ball, left an opportunity. Great finish from Ross, put that in.
Ross had one on a platter just minutes before off another free kick, almost from the same area. And this time there was a loose one, and he made it a no-doubt equalizer. Second goal of the campaign for Ross. That's a nice ball from the Tar Heels. Really great change at the point of attack from Acosta. Not a bad idea right there from Vitchian, but nobody was home.
Honestly, great idea. Burns just dropped in and cut it off.
Good work by Ruben Masalas, the senior from Sarasota. Spent time at the IMG Academy. Jurgensen drops it back to Aceto. Just his 4th start of the season. There's Burns, another perfectly angled ball.
It's a great combination play from the Blue Devils. 7 passes in that corner. Quick pivot, switch the point of attack. Kabusu's got a head of steam.
Yeah, Kabusu starting this attack. Masalas, Luckhurst. Almost felt it Thomas, but it was the other Thomas, Riley Thomas, for the Tar Heels that sent it out of trouble.
And again, we see these Blue Devils watch. As soon as getting UNC's half, all 10 players will be over the midfield line. They want to keep possession as high up the field as possible.
Thomas. Oh! Off the crossbar! Duke's claiming a win in. They're going to take a look at it, I think.
That looked like a goal to me, man. What? We talked about Luke Thomas looping those balls in. Phenomenal cross. Was that Drew Kerr with his magic left boot getting behind that?
It was smashed.
It looked like the top of that net moved. But Drew Kerr does not look too enthusiastic right now that this is going to go his way.
Well, here we go. Coach Grant Porter right there.
Coach Porter coming over to let him know that's not a goal. All right, let's see this. Luke Thomas getting expansive, open up space. Cuts into the box, looks for his run. Beautiful looping ball. Drew Kerr. Oh, that's close. I don't know.
Off the crossbar, down. No.
Yeah, off the crossbar, down, off the line. You talk about margins, that's a thin one. That's not a goal. All the right things, just this slim margin of execution, which we talked about leading to this game. Execution in the box.
Wow, Drew Kerr. Good catch by you. You knew it, as Drew Kerr already with 2 goals and 3 assists.
I've spent a couple of summers with Drew Kerr, and I could tell by his body language that he was not pleased with the conversation on the field.
I mean, the only reason why they might be taking a deeper look at it is, I mean, you said you saw the net move, you know what I mean, is somehow.
I thought I did.
I don't even know how that would work, where if it would come off that part of the crossbar and down, I don't think they're going to count it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I thought initially, first glance, saw the net move, but it looks like it hit the post solid and came down right outside.
Get one more look at it, Mr. Burke.
All right, it's coming in. Drew Kerr with that magic left boot. Oh, it was close. I think the net move was the pure velocity of how hard it hit the post.
There you go.
After review, the coach confirmed no goal. No goal. After video review, the coach confirmed no goal.
No goal.
All right, game on. We continue. Look at Coach Kerr getting the crowd involved. He does not like that call at all.
Justin Howard is the fourth official down there. Jude Carr is working a line. Chris Zerner working a line, along with D. Matar, who, like you said, has done a nice job. What is the coach-referee relationship when you're on the bench for Tobacco Road FC?
Those are my best friends always.
What a quality answer. That's like Chad Lampman quick right there.
We have fun. But in all seriousness, very small world. You know, you see these guys all the time. They're reffing really anything collegiately all the way up to USL Championship locally. So it's the same guys, and we're fortunate for the most part to have a pretty good crew around here.
Handball called. All right, Cedric Burke, we are halfway through the second half. We have a standing room only crowd. This is the 100th meeting. It is the celebration of the '86 National Championship team for Duke, all of the ACC title teams, including your '99 team, with 22 and 30 left here, exactly halfway through the second half. Your thoughts on both teams here?
Honestly, it's been even. You know, each team has had their dominant points, but overall it's evened out pretty well. We see tons of space right now. I think, you know, I hate to, you know, be cliche, but the team that wants it most is going to win this game. It is one of those games. We see Jamison Charles, one of my former guys, just came in number 8 for the Tar Heels. He is very shifty and will bring a lot of athleticism to this midfield. He can close space. It is clear the Tar Heels are making strategic subs to get more dynamic in the midfield.
By way of Minneapolis and Washburn High School.
I'll tell you a phenomenal story about that young man. He's originally from Haiti, and you know, when the earthquake happened years ago, he was in elementary school, and he went to the bathroom in the middle of the earthquake and was the only surviving member of his class. And it's one of those stories that is tear-jerking when you hear it, and fine young man, and has built a lot of character from those experiences.
Wow. Wow, Cedric Burke, what a story. Oh my goodness.
One of those moments where you realize just how precious life is.
Indeed. Nice shot of Mr. Charles.
Number 9, over Bjornsson.
All right, Bjornsson, big man who took a knock. Weren't sure. There's Kerr, who thought he had what would be the go-ahead goal. Unlucky. Tremendous effort to even get his foot on it, let alone knock it off the crossbar. I think he's going to tell his dad it wasn't in.
The Kerr family was not too happy about that result.
No. But the effort, just tremendous. And, you know, the pressure of playing not just for your dad, but arguably the most celebrated soccer player. I mean, they've had some other good ones in Wenger and other people that won the Mac Herman Trophy, but John Kerr Jr. kind of, I mean, is the face of Duke men's soccer, no? I mean, in many ways.
Well, he is. I'll tell you another story, you know, that really impressed me with the Kerr boys. We were, on one moment, we watched this promising attack. We were at U.S. Adult Soccer National Final Four, and this summer actually, and both the Kerr boys were up there, and you know, I was asking the team, what does this moment mean to you in terms of, you know, collectively, individually, and Drew Kerr said, me and Cam are the only members of our family who haven't won a national championship at any level. You know, so you talk about that pressure, they feel it. You know, they know they have a name to live up to.
And I feel like they've evolved, you know, and over the several years that you and I have been working together, like each and every time both of them get out there. They don't always get out there at the same time, which is kind of a bummer because they play similar positions, right? But they've shown me more and more every time they get out there. Is that fair?
Absolutely. They have both been instrumental players for this team, and it's earned. You know, nothing's been given to them. And Drew Kerr moving to that number 10 this year, you know, a big year is expected from him.
Burns.
Carolina playing a really high line right now.
Yeah.
If that wasn't cleared out, Luck Horse was in.
That looked like to be a pretty good ball, but an unlucky touch. Thomas with the aforementioned Charles. What a story. And North Carolina wins it back. Hilly got off to a great start at NC State and got a little banged up, finishing his collegiate career down Tobacco Road over with the Tar Heels.
So much space out there right now, Dean.
Just a little bit of rain. As we mentioned, nobody left. Everybody stayed. 18 minutes remaining. Chested by Hilly. Comes back to the 6'7" Spiel. Bjornsson, 6'3". Bjornsson, he's making a good run. They see him. He battles with Thomas. Bjornsson, Luckhurst trying to run it down, and North Carolina's got to send it flying. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick coming for Duke, and that man right there, Bjornsson, in the middle of all of it.
And a little more concerning back up the field. Looks like Keenan Hott is cramping up. It's a humid night tonight.
Friday night under the lights, and with so much on the line, you're going to just have that extra adrenaline and then the extra exertion, and it'll lead to some cramping, right?
Yeah, a rivalry game like this, I mean, you get up for it. It exerts a lot of energy. And not to mention, these guys are working hard.
See Bjornsson, second team all ACC with 10 goals and 4 assists in his rookie campaign, already with 6 goals and 1 assist. Sent in. Whew. Cordes was kind of a little bit in no man's land there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got stuck on his line. That was a well-placed ball, just no one on the other end.
Acosta. That's a foul. Burns
Now
saddling
that
up.
is a foul. No question about it.
Oh, nice ball from Sam Williams. Just like that, North Carolina's on the end line, dancing with it. The Tar Heels still.
Hey, well defended by the freshman Kabusu. Great job holding his position there. He didn't dive in. That's a dangerous place where you don't want to foul right outside the box. Held his position, slowed down the play, got help. Blue Devil ball.
Tremendous breakdown from former right back ACC champion, my main man, Cedric Burke. Dean Linke with you here. 16-13 remaining. The 100th meeting between these two teams. Middle of the park. Tar Heels win it, trying to switch it again.
Tar Heels are really favoring that left flank. They're trying to do what they're doing right now. Get it in an inverted position and try to cut in.
Burns. Spent time at Georgetown before transferring to Duke. More cramping.
Super frustrating, man. Super frustrating. Super frustrating.
See this ball coming in again. That's a tough one. Definitely a high kick there. Obviously concerned for safety first. Did look like there was contact made.
All Kwok was the player that took that boot from Burns. Excellent work from our camera operators, Chris Dubois, Philip Robinson, Chris Metzloff, Zach Smith. Well done. Hot.
All right, so Blue Devils want to keep possession now. They're trying to draw the Tar Heels out, create some space so they can attack with efficiency.
Luke Thomas.
Colton Pleasance is on the other side of the pitch, just itching to get this ball across.
Salas will win it over to Hot. Hot will bypass Burns and get it over to Kabusu. Kabusu. And he's fouled. It'll be a dangerous free kick coming for the Duke Blue Devils.
And again, an addition in the second half has been the emergence of Kabusu. I'm sure this was part of the halftime speech. He's more dynamic. He's stepping into space. He's taking those runs. Having that extra player in their attack makes UNC adjust defensively. And we see it. We got a free kick from a very dangerous position right now. A few flashes of the young man he's replacing, Amir Daly over there. Very similar attack.
Well said. Special thanks to Will Black, our producer, Chad Lappman, Jamie Carr, Nick Forbes, Zach Powell, Anthony Henage, Kennedy Jones, Robert Gray, all part of our crew. Left-footed ball served in with some pace. Cortez has it right at the top of the 6.
See Andreas Cardenas about to check in for UNC. He's another guy we've had for 2 summers. He's extremely dangerous. Imagine he's going out on the right wing, I would think.
Reminding all of you when Cedric says he's talking about Tobacco Road FC, a fine club that actually made another great run in the TST. Where did you play him when he played with Tobacco Road? What part of the field?
He played everywhere. He played as a 10, played as a 9 at times, played out on the right wing. Just a very skillful, tactically smart player. Looks like he's coming in with the left flank. They're going to invert him.
Kwok will come out and Cardenas will come in. North Carolina making its 31st NCAA tournament appearance a year ago, earning the #3 overall seed and advancing to the quarterfinals for the 14th time in program history. Starting to feel like these final 13 minutes or so may take a little bit of time here, as these players have, to a man, have given everything and then some.
We see lots of hydration happening right now. And I mentioned again, it is a little unseasonably humid, for this time of year.
Turnover, North Carolina with a chance, and they do it! A quick turnover and a finish from Vincian, and the Tar Heels have taken a 2-1 lead.
Great reaction from the Tar Heels. Do want to see this one back. Definitely looked like potential handball. happened that wasn't called. But nonetheless, phenomenal finish and reaction. So we see Masalas trying to play this ball. That could go either way, that call. Non-called, potential handball. Vishian, great job continuing that run, not stopping to wait for the play, just continued. And a very well-placed goal.
Sixth goal of the 2024 campaign for Martin Vishian, Slovakian.
And we see this one again. You know, handball or not is typically determined by intent and hand movement. It looked like looked like that arm moved in the direction the ball was going.
Well, that's a handball.
I think it was. And I think referees, my friends, have done a great job controlling this game, but that was right in their view. It's a tough sequence of events to have that happen after the post down there.
Reminding you that the last time Duke knocked off North Carolina here at Koskinen was 2014. And now North Carolina with a 2-1 lead. Wolfie. He's a crowd pleaser.
Oh, he is. Well, just his hustle. Just you're never around him. You know, whether he's just getting some body part in the passing lane. And we see him calling for this ball. He wants it down.
Amazing how everybody here, when Bjornsson gets it, they're on their feet. You can just feel their energy as they try to find number 9. Burns. Burns can hit it from there. They'll play advantage. Burns came in hard on Charles. He's going to get a card.
Yeah, that was a very hard tackle.
Yellow card.
We see it again. Ooh, Charles beat him to that ball just ever so slightly. No malintent, but he came right through his ankle. That's a dangerous tackle. Justified card.
5th yellow card of the game. Cito.
The previous goal is under video review.
I think yellow is the appropriate call. This is where the chest max comes into play.
I studied the VAR. I don't have it in front of me, but I feel like, by the way, handballs are one of the things. What we're going right now is a yellow card that is deemed potentially a red. But I feel like, and maybe you can correct me, I don't know if you know, Cedric, but I feel like looking at handballs is one of them. It must not be because they didn't, but
honestly.
All right, here we go. So offside. Yeah, so handballs aren't on it. So my bad. So that was part of the reason why you didn't see Duke going crazy over there, because it's not something they can go over and check. It's just kind of ironic because just a few minutes later, now they do go to video review to look to see if this yellow should be a red. Whereas had they taken a look 5 minutes earlier, they would have discovered what I thought was a handball.
From my perspective, guaranteed handball.
Let's give it time, because if only it stops there, we gotta get time.
Dean, a few anxious moments while we wait to see the result of this review. I honestly didn't think it had a chance of being changed, but the amount of time they're talking about it, there's legitimate discussion happening.
After review, the call is going to be changed to a red card for serious foul player number 4. After video replay, the call is changed to a red card.
So it is going to be a red. Trevor Burns to wave off the yellow. Tar Heel fans at Koskinen. That's a major loss. It's not just going down to 10 men, but losing an engine out there that does so much.
It's an incredible loss. One more look at this. There's no doubt the contact was there, and it was a tough foul. My opinion, that's close enough to the ball. He started sliding before Jamison Charles made contact. It's not a red to me. Well, first thing, we're glad Jamison Charles is okay, but in a game of this magnitude, you hate to see it, any team be uneven. You want to see this be an even match with both teams at their best.
So now, simply stated, not only does North Carolina have a 1-goal lead, they have a 1-player advantage for the rest of this game, which consists of 11 minutes and 57 seconds.
This one is going to be extremely chippy for this next 11 minutes.
You said it. Pleasance gets right back up. Pleasance trying to send it long. They're going to probably need some sort of Wolfie magic, right? Bjornsson's going to have to probably do something that only he can do. Down a man. Good weapon to have. Another tackle.
Oddly familiar tackle. And that's exactly what Ruben Masalis is arguing right now. It's the same play that just happened.
Yellow card issued to Vitchian, who his 6th goal is the difference in this game right now.
We see Kenny Hott asking for the review in the same manner that just happened on the other foul. That's very similar play.
Indeed it is.
Now, I will say part of it may have been the accumulation factor for Burns. You know, he had several fouls leading up to that. Looks like we are going to get a review, right?
Yellow card. I'm going to take it for possible red.
Dean, a grand total of 26 seconds have ticked off the clock since our last review.
Right?
All right, another look. We see Colton Pleasance closing space, trying to clear that ball, left in a vulnerable position. That is very similar to that play right before.
All ankle.
All ankle.
Ball wasn't there.
And actually the ball was on the other side of his body, so different from the other play, it wasn't even a chance for him to get to the ball.
The call is confirmed. Yellow card. Yellow card number 9. After video review, the
A little quicker
confirmed.
review that time.
Confirms the yellow. North Carolina is going to take Vitchian out and to bring on Andrew Kitch, a sophomore from Bedford, New Jersey.
Very smart move by the UNC coaching staff. No reason to leave him in there with a chance of picking up another one.
So Cedric, I know exactly what you meant about some of the other fouls that Burns had, but for me, when you go to the review to look at it, that should not be a part of it. So when the dust settles, a yellow to Burns, a yellow to Vitchian would have been probably the fairest of play, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, I'd love to hear the opinion, of the assessment when that decision was made, because you're right. There's always a human factor in those calls, but when you go to review, to your point, I wouldn't think those previous fouls would go. You're looking at an isolated incident.
Here's Hot. Dropped into space.
And it's good.
Kabusa! Kabusu! In the 18. North Carolina players trying to tell Kabusu to get up, but
I'm sure a few other words were used, but that was the message. Kabusu, great first touch. Great job turning that corner.
Oh no, that was a good shield. Well done by Tate Johnson.
Yeah, really nothing there.
See Charlie Harper had a couple words for the youngster from Chestnut Hill, Mass, part of the New England Revolution system.
That might have been one of those welcome to the rivalry messages right there.
Indeed. Thomas. Yeah, that's the right move. Good pass. Masalis. Hot. They want to find any way they can to get it to Bjornsson. Number 9. Bad idea there, but Bjornsson couldn't find it.
You're right, it doesn't take much. We've seen him score some amazing goals and create opportunities for his teammates in those situations.
This time Charles does not get the call. Pleasance is fouled.
Colton Pleasance has switched roles with Luke Thomas. He's the magnet for contact right now. Seems like he's involved in every play.
Cardenas, the guilty party for the Tar Heels. Trevor Burns, initially given a yellow for the tackle on Charles. They changed it to a red. There's Charles into space. Oh my, what a ball. Acosta running downhill. Acosta to put a capper on it, push from behind. And the referee way behind it. Acosta went down on contact, no PK.
Oh, that is the danger of playing such a high line. Great job by Keenan Hott by tracking back and just creating enough pressure to throw Acosta off. Otherwise, that's a goal.
Pleasance breaking ankles out there.
Yeah, he put Cardenas on the floor.
Kabusu. Look at this battle over there. Those are two rookies.
They're going at it.
Both wearing the 2 jersey.
All right, we look at this ball over the top. Acosta was wide open. Keenan Hott. Yeah, applied just enough pressure. We see over here this battle between the 2 freshmen, as you mentioned, the 2 number 2s. I guarantee this isn't the first time they squared off. They're both elite prospects.
Tate Johnson. There's Tate wearing 2, the freshman from Tampa. Kabusu, the freshman from Chestnut Hill, Mass. Good little move there from Hilly.
Hilly, great move from Hilly, and even better defense by Marsalis to get a foot in there.
Hot. May have gotten away with one. Yeah, Cedric, I don't know. Huh?
I wasn't going to be one to say it, but there was some contact in the back on that play.
Amen.
But I'll tell you what, just from a referee standpoint, rarely do you see it sometimes, but rarely after that type of situation where you call a red, are you going to call that type of PK in the box, you know?
He's been fine, but he was really way behind the play as well. He's human as well. I mean, the fatigue, you mentioned the kind of strange humidity with the rain and everything else. Even the referee's got to run a ton of miles.
Yeah, that was a long run. I mean, Keenan Hott was cramping up 5 minutes ago, and he just made a 60-yard run to catch up the play up there.
Charles, he has brought it. Tackle by Aceto, who is given everything and then some. Weren't even sure he was going to be ready to play.
And you're right, the last few plays where he's had 50-50 balls, I've noticed him being a little tentative, protecting that left knee. And he absolutely left it all on the pitch right there. That was all he had to get that ball.
World-class flick from Bjornsson. World-class to find Thomas.
These UNC defenders have absolutely answered the call rather in the second half, especially on the wings. These 1v1 matchups, they have been dominating routinely.
Riley Thomas and Charlie Harper. Harper, the Australians who had an interesting path through Japan. His story is pretty good as well. Thomas! He almost had some contact. Ruben Marsalis trying to earn a free kick, and he will. Free kick coming for Duke.
All right, 3 minutes left. This is the place in the field you want to be. I would imagine Marsalis is going to be the one to take this. Bend it in with that left.
Sam Williams. Marsalis, yeah, he was fouled.
Yeah, he was. And we talked about how dynamic he was. He gets back out from that left back position and he gets involved in the offense.
Into the game for the Blue Devils, number 15, Jack Zigay.
So, first look at the former Michigan State Spartan. Zugay will come in. Transfer in his first season at Duke. Bjornsson. They call him Woofy.
You think he's passing it, Dean?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Bjornsson. Does he have some magic? Bjornsson! Right at Cortez.
Good
Well
placement.
taken, yeah.
Yeah, good placement. Cortez was just there. He was all over. We saw Coach Kerr was talking about his Cristiano Ronaldo-esque goal he scored earlier in the season. He can score from that place.
Just over 3 minutes remaining. Bjornsson, Thomas, Bjornsson, taken away. Another collision, and because it was a head collision, the referee calling immediately. We talked earlier about the only loss for Duke this year coming to Grand Canyon and George Kiefer. Remember, Duke down to 10 players. Let's take a look at the reason why. Initially ruled a yellow on Trevor Burns and changed to a red.
We look at these fouls back to back. You know, clearly a foul. There was some contact on the leg. An attempt was made on the ball. Honestly, I think he touched a little bit of the ball. Just late arriving. We look at the play 5 minutes later. Ball is on the complete opposite side of the body. Same foul, all leg.
See Masalis immediately saying it's the exact same.
Yep. And then Keenan Hott was right behind him, pointing to the spot where the other one happened.
Good to see Colton Pleasance up. Transfer from UNCW, but a local product. There's a Cito.
Duke substitution into the match, number 13, Jose Ortega.
I'm expecting to see Jose Ortega, and he'll get in there. Duke, just to give you an idea of this rivalry and how much this game works, I feel like Duke's had quite a bit of the ball, even being down a player, but Carolina's had a couple breakaways. They got another one now, trying to put this one on ice yet again. Everybody gets back for Duke, kept alive. Little move, and the shot goes high from Williams.
Good build by the Tar Heels. Andre Cardenas won that ball. Great ball out, I believe, that Hilly outside on that left flank. A lot of movement up there.
Two minutes remaining in the 100th matchup between these two powerhouses, Duke and North Carolina. You're throwing for Duke. Thomas quickly gets it in. Masalis back to Aceto.
This could be it, Dean. This has to be a quality attack. Not guaranteed to get back in this position.
Kabusu, good little move, Kabusu. Ortega back to Masalis. Masalis. Kabusu. Bjornsson, oh. He whipped it, but he took a big swing at it. Masalis lets it go.
That might be it, Dean.
Oh yeah, North Carolina on the counter as it's wide open. Will they head to the corner? Hilly, that's where he'll go with 24 seconds remaining. Hilly really strong. What a turn by Hilly. Hilly still with it. Hilly will earn the corner, and that will ice this game. And North Carolina is going to do it again. They're going to come over to Durham. A standing room only crowd, special celebration, and somewhat spoil the party. North Carolina, the number 11 team in the country, with a 2-1 come-from-behind win over the Duke Blue Devils.
Dean, back and forth match, a well-deserved win from these Tar Heels. We knew one of these teams was going to have this feeling. That's just part of this rivalry. It really comes down to execution on those few chances. The margins are so thin.
What a fantastic night under the Friday night lights of Koskinen and Durham, North Carolina. I want to thank Will Black, Chad Lampman, and our amazing crew. I want to thank Mark Dodd, the '86 goalkeeper for the national championship team. I want to thank Cedric Burke, my broadcast partner, who won the first ACC title in 1999. For each and every one of them, and all of you, final score North Carolina 2, Duke 1. You saw it all right here on ACC Network Extra.